Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM22 One Club story from Hemel Hempstead Town with me, Daniel. It's part 147 today and it has been a very strange start to the season on many counts. But in today's episode we face Inter Milan in our toughest Champions League group stage test and then go away to Crystal Palace, a side we've managed in the head coach this year. So if you're looking forward to all of that and of course seeing in what capacity our thumbnail star Ricky Jade-Jones has returned to the club, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Subscribe down below for daily FM22 content from two long-term stories. We've also got our top 3 playlists and our continuing experiments on Sundays. You can find all the key links in the eye above or description below. And finally, you can support the show as a channel member by clicking the join button below the video. But thank you as always for your incredible support as we come back for what should in theory be a pretty happy episode because we're second in the league. All of the top boys are faltering. It's been a really strange start to the year, but I'm not convinced, if you know what I mean. Our performances haven't been particularly good, and I'm getting a little bit concerned that we're just a moment away from a disaster. I think the first thing we have to highlight is that on the screen here you can see our top scorer is a player I've been desperately trying to sell for some time. He is not going to be going anywhere now because Carlos Martin is a superstar and we'll be getting him a new deal pretty sharpish if he keeps performing the way he has been. He's actually become one of the key players of the team now, and that is a pretty damning indictment on some of our attacking stars who just have not performed. We cannot get goals out of our front players. The tactical changes, they're struggling to get onto the front foot more. We're not having as many shots, we're not having as many attempts on target. But we are still winning games, and I guess that's all that really matters. So if we have a look at the schedule to see what's been happening since you were last with me, it has been plain sailing in terms of results. The performances tell a very different picture, but I guess we don't have to care about that come the end of the year, do we? The one tough team we've played so far in Arsenal, you saw we got battered by in the last episode. My worry comes from the middle of next month. We face Liverpool, Manchester United and Spurs in the space of 4 league games. Add the Inter one today, there could be a few more defeats coming in the near future. But in terms of results, we won 2-0 against Leicester. Dominic Chauvin and Stamatis scored the goals. Stamatis, absolute screamer. There was no way we were winning the game without it. We then battered Sporting Lisbon 6-0. 2 for Vass, 2 for Martin, 1 for Azoma and 1 for Andreka. A 2-1 win at Birmingham, and it was lucky. I think we have to say that. Torres and Stamatis put in screamers from long range either side of Burnell's goal, which looked like it was going to hold us to a draw with 3 minutes left. We then beat Burnley 4-0 in the third round of the Carabao Cup with Kay Striker giving us the lead just before half-time. Carlos Martin, Stanley Azoma and an own goal adding to that in the second half. And then a 2-1 win at home to West Ham. Tyrese Ricketts finally off the mark for the season. Hopefully it could be the start of something good. Or could it? Because he then went off injured. And Miguel Coronel, who got the winner in the second half, to keep the run of results going despite inconsistent performances. The Birmingham and West Ham games probably both deserve to be draws. And on any other day they could have been. We've scored some rockets and we have to be grateful that we've got those match winners in the team. But they're not going to be scoring 30-yard shots every game, are they? We know that eventually that's going to dry up. So hopefully the cohesion comes in time. The team cohesion is still good, but it just seems that the tactical bits are a tiny bit off. And that's all that's missing at the minute. We have, though, got some good news off the pitch and some familiar returning faces. None more so than the face of today's thumbnail. If we go to the staff and we go to our team, you will see the return of the worst scout you will ever see at a top tier club. But let's go down and find him, because we have got Ricky Jade-Jones, scout, 850 quid a week, and he is diabolical in terms of his stats. 5 for judging ability, 4 for judging potential, but a club legend, and we just had to offer him a role. Got a good knowledge of Austria, which might help us later down the line too, but yeah, we're not going to be expecting anything brilliant out of him. We did, though, manage to sign a couple of other people as well. Lucy Rushton is a recent scout that joined from Leicester. Very different end of the spectrum there. 15 and 16 for judging ability and potential. So it's a mix and match of the goods and the legends that we need to get back in. Nice to have a balance, because if you have too many of the old players, you're probably going to have a crap coaching and scouting team. So that's where we are at the minute. But let's go and get straight into the first game today. Inter Milan away in the Champions League. The result against Sporting gives me massive confidence for this because we should beat Rapid Vienna, and it's basically a battle for first v second, which is what we expected when the draw was made. So let's get to the tactical meeting, get the opposition instructions on, and bear in mind that we've got a game in 4 days' time, so we might have to rotate a little bit here. Let's go and pick our 11. We'll be back in a minute to run through it. And this is what we've gone for today. It is virtually a fully rotated 11. Just Zaruk in the starting lineup, and then maybe 1 or 2 of the attacking players would be considered. But it is a strange situation we're in now. We're resting Carlos Martin for Premier League matches for our first team. We've got last season's top scorer Carlos Torres in the backup team because he can't score goals at the minute. So there is a little bit of a balancing act. It's last season's first choice fullbacks out there, which is an area we've improved. But overall, we've still got a pretty good squad. And even if we lose this one away at Inter, I'm confident we get through the group stages with our backup side. So as a result of that, our lineup for today is Murillo in goal. We've got Chauvin and Delgado, the fullbacks, with Hanifan and Zaruk as centre-half. De Vita, Luiz, Vass, who scored 2 on the first match day, and Joe as the number 10. He's now fallen out of the team after changing from the shadow striker role. So we might have to go back to that one later on. And then Vit Srubek alongside Carlos Torres up front. It all started so well, didn't it? Vit winning us the opening game of the season. Missed a few chances, but we thought he'd come good. Don't know what's happened to him. Just cannot get going at the minute. We need him to start scoring goals. Away to Inter might be a tough ask to do that. But let's go and get into the first of today's 2 games. And hopefully with a rotated squad, we'll avoid a European hangover at the weekend too. And here we go. Julian Nagelsmann's side with Sesko up front, who's the star man. Look like they want to put us to the sword today. Alex, the right back, is the one we almost signed before Mellon became available. It's a 27-year-old Chinese international, and he's absolutely superb, but not quite as good as our 2 right backs. So let's go and get through the first half after the dressing room. We're going to ask the lads to prove a point. We're going to tell the tunnel interviewers that we're happy and we're ready to do well. And hopefully in the first half we can prove it with a good performance away at the San Siro. And we are back with just a minute on the clock and Inter Milan on the attack, which is not a good sign. To the back post to Sesko, header straight at Murillo. Away from home against a big team in the Champions League, I'm dropping to balanced. I do not care what people say because it is the best way to play in the Champions League. Just countering very slightly and playing with a little bit of caution, a slightly deeper line, it often works well. As Luiz the youngster, big season for him in the Champions League group stages. To Torres and Vit Srubek, hasn't got the legs to get away and hasn't got the finish or the confidence to put us 1-0 up. With 2 minutes gone, a shot on target each, both good chances, neither taken. And here we are again with nearly 15 minutes gone. Playing out from the back, we've got good footballers everywhere. So this always looks pretty good on the eye. Hanifan runs out of defence though and he's been caught. Oh, I've kiboshed it. Why did I say anything? Murillo, to be fair to him, makes a super save. But Jack Hanifan, what happened? He just decided he was going to go on a dribble. He never does that. Corner to the back post, headed off the line by Zaruk. And Blas gets it on the edge of the box. The danger's not gone. To the right-hand byline. Crosses in. Good header from Delgado. Still not clear though, as Brewer goes back to halfway. Buglawai to Alex. It does eventually peter out. But Inter Milan are now dominant. And we need to start getting on the front foot because we're basically clinging on for a point at this stage. So maybe we're going to go back positive. Try and get on the attack again. I'm not sure it's going to make much of a difference though. Can we impose ourselves? Is our backup team good enough? Well, Georgiou puts the corner in. We're about to find out. Hanifan heads clear, only as far as Blas. To Martinez. Back again. Breuer, edge of the box. Into Morgado. Good save, Murillo. He's been stunning in goal. And he hasn't, touch wood, he hasn't yet had any injuries. So if we can keep him fit, he will develop into a superstar. At half-time, the stats tell you the story. 16 shots to 2. 8 on target to 1, expected goals of almost 2 to 0.1, and they've even had more possession, corners and everything else. So I don't know what we can do here to change things other than a tactical shape change. So I'm going to go for number 2 from last year. We're going to go a bit more direct. We're going to play how we did in the league last year. Collins and Joe will come in. Box-to-box midfielder might be alright. What does he do best? None of them, so it doesn't really matter. He'll go box to box, Luis centre mid on attack, and then Vass will play as the advanced playmaker. I think that's probably the best way we can go. Hopefully in the second half it's proven right. Well, 20 minutes and a half without a highlight, and we have managed a few shots, so I guess that's a good sign. But with 20 left, I think we're going to have to make changes. We've got real fatigue in midfield, something we've not had before. I don't know what's changed this season, whether it was a long summer for some of these lads or not, but it shouldn't have been, because unless they were in the Nations League, or maybe there was a Copa America, I don't know. But the midfield lads get tired so much more quickly. I'm going to take Fitzrubeck off, who's had another awful game for Azoma. And then I'm going to bring on Martin and Stamatis for Vassan and Joe. I think they're the best ones we can go for. So Martin and Stamatis will be on. Stamatis is now becoming an absolute gem. He's going to be so good in a couple of years. Listed as elite at the age of 21. And then which way round do we want the other two? I think we'll stick with it as it is. Hopefully that gives us a bit more strength to finish off. If we can start winning the midfield battle again, we have had slightly more of the second half, but not enough. But can we nick the smash and grab? Stamatis corner. Oh, we've scored. It's onside as well. There was a player dallying on the line. I know that for sure. Big corner to the back post from Stamatis. Zaruk with a bullet header across goal. And that man again. He's become our most important player. We have offered him a new contract. We'll wait to see if he accepts it. Carlos Martin, against the run of play, has popped up and given us the lead. Who on earth would have thought that he was going to become our star player? Because I have tried for most of the last 2 summers to sell him. And fair play, he's stepping up when we need it most, as Delgado nicks the ball high to Torres. And Azoma to Torres again, in one-on-one, puts it wide. How many one-on-ones are our strikers going to miss this season, honestly? We're into stoppage time. We've chucked on the time wasting. Everything else stays the same as Luis finds De Vita. Through ball from Martin. There's holes in the Inter defence now. Stamatis in. His is saved as well. I can't remember the last time we scored a one-on-one. As Torres gets the ball away on halfway. Sesko puts it through. Is it a last-ditch equaliser for Inter? Jacinto. Back to Bugler. Well nicked from Chauvin. I mean, this is one of the most undeserved victories we'll ever get, isn't it? Long ball forward towards Torres, but there's only 15 seconds left. Surely we can't throw it away from here. Down the right, it's up towards Muller. Just clear it, Chauvin. Just clear it. He follows the instruction all right. Doesn't even try and kick it forward. Just punts it sideways into the stands. And that might be the last action. Muller on the left to Bugler. We've played more than 4 minutes. What's the referee doing? Muller shoots. It's over the bar. I would have been spitting feathers if that went in. We cling on for a proper smash and grab 1-0 victory. 23 shots to 12, 12 on target to 5. The tactical change worked at half time and the substitutions. The star man, Carlos Martin, is now the hero of the club. We've had to wait a long time for him to deliver it. And let's mention Mikel Murillo as well. Second appearance or third appearance for the club. What a performance. An absolute star in the making. And a 1-0 win at Inter. Champions League, job pretty much done now. But now we have to return to Premier League action against a side we became very familiar with in our other story, the head coach. And a side that probably will pose us problems. We've struggled away from home. We've struggled generally to get over the line in league games. But without the European hangover from 11 changes, hopefully it won't be as bad today. Let's go through to the team selection, see what 11's been picked. And just hope it can produce the goods for us. Because a win could leave us top this weekend. Well, 2 players not quite fit to make the squad in Luis and Delgado, but crucial 90 minutes for them. We've made 1 change to our normal league starting 11, which is Ndreka out for De Vita. That's because we've got an EFL trophy game in a couple of days' time, and Ndreka's the young enough one to play in that. So when there's nothing between the holding midfielders, that just makes sense. We then got the international break, so we've not got to worry about heavy match loads or anything along those lines. And Carlos Martin, worryingly, not signed a new deal yet, but he's just in the form of his life. Average rating of over 8 when playing in Premier League, League Cup and Champions League games is ridiculous. So the 11 for today is almost fully changed. Just Zaruk and De Vita keep their places in the starting 11. Tyrese Ricketts back to fitness, so it's John Moore in goal. Klaas and Mellon the fullbacks with Zaruk and Jura as centre half. De Vita, Stamatis, Coronel and Martin the midfield diamond. And then Azoma and Ricketts up front. Loads of quality on the bench. Just please, let this be 3 points. I don't care how we do it. I'm getting used to and acclimatised to the scrappy performances. But we need wins to make them worthwhile. Well, 3 changes for Crystal Palace, who of course have Danny Harrison starting up front. We all know who's going to score the winner in this game, don't we? One of those that's going to come back to bite us on the backside. The £45 million man as he went there. I've never noticed in 17 seasons of this save just how bad that away kit is. It really isn't good, is it? But let's get through to the dressing room. Let's talk to the lads, ask them to prove a point. And just to say as well, because I know there's been comments on it recently, let's change this over to attribute analysis. We'll keep the pinwheel for the rest of the save and of course years moving forward. Just remind me if I ever forget in future. Let's get through to the match though, into the first half. The lads are motivated, but they're coming up against an old player. So I'm sure there's going to be some danger along the way today. Fingers crossed Selhurst Park will be good to us. Crystal Palace v Hemel Hempstead Town. Potentially for a spot at the top of the Premier League. And here we are with 15 on the clock. It's been a quiet start, but we're back with Stamatis piling down the right wing. Such a powerful run. Plays a 1-2 with Mellon. It's back to De Vita. Oh, almost scores. A low pile driver towards the far corner. Tipped wide with players rushing on. And now it's a corner kick for Miguel Coronel. To the back post towards Jura. Headed away as far as Stamatis. Got options down the line. Can't find them. So goes back to Mellon. And it's cleared away. Stays 0-0 with 20 gone. Just going to make a slight tactical tweak from the corners actually. Because Zaruk on the wrong side means when he's at the back post for the corners, he's more of a threat. So Jura will drop out of that role. 20 gone though. It's been a brilliant start. We just need the goals. And that's the thing that's inconsistent this year. But it's a Crystal Palace corner. It could go wrong now. Kamara heads that and it whistles over the bar. Not by much at all. Half an hour on the clock. Only the one shot on target from De Vita. And actually, our form started to dry up. It's the first game we've started well and not really backed it up after. As De Vita loses out in the challenge, it falls for Beasley in the middle. Herald gets it to Harrison. You just know he's going to get in, don't you? Beasley down, Mercado in. Wonderful save, John Moore. He's actually stepped up a bit this year, knowing he's got proper competition behind him now. And it's a corner kick for Crystal Palace. It's going to be taken by Carlson. Another in-swinger. They've been good from these so far. Mellon wins that one though. Up to Tyrese Ricketts. Don't make anything of it. Where is that attacking threat? Where is that counter-attacking threat we've had? I think that's the thing we're missing this year. We've not seen those vicious counters that we've had for so many years before. And at half-time, despite edging the stats, it's going to be 0-0. And it's another low-scoring game. It's another one where we can't assert dominance and just make it comfortable. So we're into a second half that's going to be cagey again. And we're hoping to nick one by the odd goal. It's becoming a familiar pattern. And here we are with a throw on the left-hand side. 10 minutes gone in the second half. Klaas gets it to Jura. Brings the ball forward. There's no one back for Hemel. He goes all the way himself. He tries to shoot from 25 yards. It's over the bar. But he just walks through the team completely unmarked there. With an hour gone though, we've got the same problems going forward. Azoma this time has had a poor game. Ricketts doesn't look like scoring again. It's just really frustrating the way we're playing. Ultimately, I'm not going to care if we win 1-0, we win 2-1, and we start winning titles. But still, it's not exciting to watch this year. And it always has been in this save, which is what makes it annoying. As Zaruk gets the ball into De Vita in a centre circle. Quickly played through midfield with Stamatis, Martin, now Azoma. Stamatis has in to Coronel. Ricketts has got a runner. Finds Martin. Oh, he should have played the pass earlier. Coronel does eventually to Azoma. Back to Stamatis with a shot. And it's tipped round the post at the bottom corner. It's a lovely effort from the Greek international. And Coronel will take the corner kick to the back post. Mellon's up. Headed away as far as Stamatis. Keeps it in on the left-hand side. Goes inside to Jura. It's not the best pass, but Stamatis gets it back. Can we find the route forward? Not with a ball like that. Martin presses. He does really well, actually. But eventually Palace get it clear. Half an hour to go. We've got to make changes. Azoma has had a shocker. He's going to be replaced by, I think, Torres, even though he's nervous because he's the more likely threat. De Vita, Offer and Drecker, who would have started normally anyway, nearly brought the wrong man on. And then even Carlos Martin's not having a great game today. Do I do it? Can Collins and Joe be the hero? Not yet. 25 minutes left. I'm not going to do it either because Coronel is just dropping down a bit. So on will come Alberto Vass, who has been a bit of a superstar when he's played this season. As Stamatis has the corner into Vass and he's caused the goal again. VAR will check it. His header was saved by Correa but fell straight to Mellon, the right back, who thundered it in from 2 yards. And if that counts, I'm taking a lot of credit today. It doesn't though. The super sub almost worked again. This time, no, the goal is disallowed. 10 minutes left, it's frustration, and it's going to stay 0-0, I think. We're going to give the lads one last bit of encouragement. There are 5 minutes plus stoppage time to go. It's going to be a 0-0 draw. It is another low-scoring game. This time, we don't find the winner. We were the better side on this occasion, but nothing clear-cut. Those tactical tweaks, they're just taking a while to settle in. And I think because we haven't done any of this scale for a few years, we're not used to the frustration that comes with it. Give it another month, I'm sure we'll be firing. 0-0 though, we stay unbeaten, and we are top of the league until the Spurs game, I think. Oh, sorry, I didn't realise Spurs had already played the North London derby and drawn 1-1 at Arsenal. Damn sight better than we did there. But we're 1 point off the top of the league. Liverpool, last year's champions, can go level if they win their game in hand. I'm sure they will. But it's not been a bad start, has it? We're in that top 4 mix. We're doing well in the other competitions. Harrison didn't score against his former club, which is the thing I was fearful of. But we haven't got a goal threat either. So unless we can get Mario Ricca back in January, or these lads can get settled in the tactical plan, I think it's going to be a long year of frustrating performances, or frustrating results more than anything. Let's go and have a look at the schedule for a minute. It's going to be back. We'll try and leave it a little while for the next one. So based on the fact that I think we're pretty much through in the Champions League, should we show the game either side of the international break in November? We've got Manchester United and Tottenham, two of the big games up there. It gives us a chance to get through Liverpool. It gives us a chance to get through in a Champions League and League Cup. And obviously if we get a bigger cup tie in the quarter-final, we can maybe switch it around. But that's the initial plan for now. If you did enjoy this episode, please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. We're very solid at the back again now. Not conceded more than one in any game other than the Arsenal one with 10 men. But we're struggling for goals. We're struggling for a regular threat. Maybe I should have got Ricky in as a striker coach instead. Let me know down in the comments what you think we can do tactically to get the goal threat back at Hemel Hempstead. If you want to stay up to date and find out if we can do it, subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on for daily FM22 content. There's links in the eye above to the top 3 playlist, the football podcast ahead of a new season, the FM experiments and the other savoury building vibe or two. But a massive thank you for watching. I'll put the top 3s above my head now. Please do give them a try if you haven't already, and I'll see you back here in a couple of days' time.